Welcome in a Silksong speedrun, and I already tried it once before recording. I reached Grandmother's Soul in less than 4 hours, and so I deemed it as manageable or even easy, and now it's gonna be my actual recorded try. Starting a save file, and skipping through cutscenes. After landing in Act 1 and then Moderato, a small yet boring crawling up starts. I came in and conquered, then I left just to fall in front of Chapel Maid. After skipping all this dialogue, I can finally finish my crawling up to Bone Bottom. First thing to do in the Marrow is coming in and beating up the arena. I snatched some rosaries and started going up to the top of the Marrow, where I met Pshanka. I kindly declined buying the map because I'm a professional and I don't need one, so I left the Marrow and went to Moscow to snatch the Silk Spear. Afterwards, I returned to the Marrow, went to the Bullway, and released my buddy Era Belbeast, who gave me my first heart. I switched the lever, left and re-entered the room to skip the bell ringing animation. On my way to Deep Docks, I snatched the one craft metal, which can be easily obtained in the Marrow. It doesn't take a lot of time to snatch it, so I always get it. Most important thing to get in Deep Docks is Swift Step. Without it, there isn't a way I would play more. Sprint is absolutely essential. Pshanka. After beating up the arena in a Hunter's March, I can finally go and snap the Swift Step. And with Swift Step, I can go and beat Lace's ass and move to Farfields. I decided to fight in Farfields to get a bit of rosaries from Scars. Then I went straight to the Seamstress, snatched the quest, and went to collect the spines. With the spines collected, I can return to Seamstress and snatch Drifter's Cloak. And with Drifter's Cloak, I can go and finally beat up Fourth Chorus. And after Fourth Chorus, I can go straight to Greymoor. In Greymoor, I went straight to the halfway home, and from halfway home to fight the Moorwing. I wanted to snatch Gormat and Zaza to the fight, but I didn't get the dialogue, so I'm doing it solo this time. After destroying the Moorwing on my first try, I finally got way to Belheart, and from Belheart I went straight to Shellwood. There is only one goal for me to do in Shellwood, which is basically getting the Cling Grip. Without it I won't go anywhere, so it's basically all that I can do in Shellwood. Also, interesting thing about the arena in Shellwood is that the way is blocked by the Ashen Vine. It's created blocking my way out. What a bitch! I Garamat my way to the top and skipping Sister Splinter, so I don't have to fight her to reach Cling Grip. After I finally get my long desired Cling Grip, I went straight to the right of Shellwood, enter the Belvane. If you're unsure whether you'll kill Widow on the first try, because, well, Widow is pretty aggressive and chaotic, so death might happen. I would recommend opening a shortcut to the bench, so you won't have to go the longer way to her. It's just a precaution. Finally the Widow encounter started. I beat her up, stabbed her face with a needle, and bound her power. With Belheart released from Widow's grasp, I can finally upgrade my needle for the first time. Open the Bellway. Belheart is pretty important in the speedrun because I will return to with at least once. Pshanka. To get Threadstorm, I need to first beat up an arena with Cross, and it's a pretty frustrating experience because those birds have an absolutely awful moving pattern, especially those with triple shot. I hate them so much. With arena finished, I can finally move up and go up and snatch Threadstorm. I also snatched the threefold pin. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna use it, but I think it might come in handy. It's a really good tool. Before going to Sinner's Road, I snatched Warding Bell, because I forgot when I was in Farfields before. How could I? It might really save my ass when I time poorly my bind. I equipped my threefold pin and warding bell and went straight to Sinner's Road. First thing I did at Sinner's Road is unlocking the bench. It might really help me when I die, because in Silksong it's actually really easy to die, Pushanka. With bench working as it should have before, I went straight to the mist and started following the silk flies. The mist might take more or less time depending on RNG or stuff like waves getting in the way, and you also just might fall just like I did and try again. I got lucky with previous roam because I would have to repeat it again. I didn't have time to play the needle in. I was chased by raves. It's pretty filled with them and they respawn after time. But I finally was able to reach the exhaust organ. There's only one thing to do in the exhaust organ, which is basically beating up Phantom. After beating up Phantom of the organ, I went to the Ground Bellway and snatched my first memory locket. And with reaching Ground Bellway, I finished up the first act. First thing to do in Act 2 is surviving first dialogue with Lace and then going straight to the top of Coral Chambers. You can obviously activate the bench in first shrine in case of death on Clockwork Dancers, but the boss fight is pretty easy, so it's basically up to you. I decided to activate it because I was beaten up by steam vents on my way to the first shrine, so I had to go through the dialogue with Caretaker. With first shrine activated, I activated my first Ventrica station and went to beat up Clockwork Dancers. The most important thing to fight Clockwork Dancers is keeping the track of the Clockwork Dancer you attack the most and keep attacking the one. Otherwise, the fight might last much longer. After I released the soul of Green Princess Lover, I made my way through the Clockwork Core and then to Whispering Vaults. After beating up the arena, I went to open the shortcut to first shrine, cause obviously I might die. In Whispering Vault there are two things which are needed. First one is the pale oil to upgrade the needle the second and last time. To get the pale oil you need to first finish a small puzzle with moving boxes all around the room. It's not really difficult, but it may take a bit of time. And the second thing is getting to the stage and fighting Trobio. After getting my first pale oil, I went through the stage to the Grand Bellway and then to Bellheart to upgrade my needle the second and last time. With needle upgraded second and last time, I can finally go and fight Trobio. Defeating Trobio gave me tool I want to use and access to two very important places. First one of them is Underworks, and it's the right side, which is the faster way to get the claw line. Underworks and the Cauldron is probably my least favorite part of the speedrun, mainly due to the fact how easy it is to die in the Underworks from those exploding bugs. They're literally demons. Without dying a single time, surprisingly, I made my way to the Cauldron, and in the Cauldron I got the most essential ability in Silksong, which is the claw line. With the claw line acquired, I returned to the elevator in Whispering Vaults and went to get my first melody, which is the Vault Keeper's. Out of all melodies, Vault Keeper's melody is probably the easiest one and the fastest one to obtain. The other one are more difficult and, well, more time consuming. I snatched the secret cylinder and went to Cordinius to play it and learn the melody. With the melody learned, I went to the High Halls. I fucking hate Claw Maidens. They're absolutely trashy and I hate them, and I already prefer Primal Aspects, since I cannot remove their spawn, cause Fade Out Cloak is needed for that. I need to deal with them, and my way of dealing with them is basically blasting them with Threat Storm. After I made my way to the Ventrica station in High Halls, I had to climb back up because I forgot to craft cockflies. With cockflies acquired, I went straight to the forum. And in my first speedrun, which I did before this one, I did the forum on my first try, which I'm still really proud of, but this time it didn't go on my first try. This time the form gauntlet took me 3 tries. After learning the melody from Conductor Ballador, I went straight to the peak of the Cogwork Core. The puzzle in Cogwork Core might take a bit of time. I know that big speedrunners know the exact combination of them and how many needle hits takes to switch them to make it work, but I'm not one of them, so I basically do it the regular way. With Architect's Melody I can finally return to the place where Cogwork Desert used to be and ascend to the cradle. I showed her how big disaster she is and told her to get ready. After getting my second silk heart from Lace that I totally didn't forget about, I can go to the top of the cradle, beat Grandmother Silk, and watch the credits roll by. Bye.